Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are getting ready to start the show here in just a second. For those of you guys that are watching, you ladies and gentlemen out there in the interworlds, we are doing a live taping of the Church Media Guys show with myself and Justin Nava. And I am copying the link to send Justin so he can join us here. Go. Just getting a few things finished up. If you guys are watching us, watching a replay of this, the replay is our what you're watching is our, hang on a second, I'm doing like a million things here. I'm trying something new with Justin, so bear with me, folks. If you're watching the replay, we are going to be getting started. You can skip to about the 5-minute mark or so, and we'll actually have launched the show. And where is Justonian? There we go. Hey, man.
Yo.
Let me turn up your volume so the world can hear you. All right, now talk.
Yo.
Yo! Awesome sauce.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right, can you see me now?
So when I did the free training the other day, I asked a question.
Yes.
And I actually got more diverse responses than I would thought. So if you're still watching right now while we're getting everything set up, put a comment down below. I don't think we have anyone watching live, so this will all be replay comments, but I am very interested. Please answer this question.
Yes.
Do you pronounce it coupon or coupon? Because apparently a lot of people in the hacks group say coupon.
Huh. I've never really thought about it.
I heard it in a podcast. This guy was from Minnesota, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you go on and get this extension, and it tells you if there's a coupon." And I'm like, "What? Coupon? Coupon?
Okay. All right, hang on. Let me see. All right. Hey, Justin, you want to go to Chick-fil-A with me? I've got a coupon for lunch.
Hey, where did you get that coupon? It doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Justin, let's.
But there are some people that say coupon.
Hey, Justin, let's go get some steaks. I got a coupon. Coupon. That's how I say it. Just coupon. I don't say coupon. I don't say coupon. I say it like almost in the middle. Boy, can I ride the fence?
No, Dave, it's 2018. You have to pick a side.
Pick a side. Pick a side.
Time for civil discussions was 20 years ago.
That's so funny. A coupon. Coupon. Coupon?
I say coupon. Coupon. Coupon.
Coupon. I got a coupon. I got a coupon. Q. I think I do say the Q.
People joining the live stream right now are like, what the heck is going on? Yeah, Chris is in the chat. Really? This again?
Okay.
Coupon. Yeah. He says coupon.
Jonathan Mom has joined us, and he has said coupon. COUPON. That's how he pronounces it. COU.
I think coupon is a northern thing.
It must be. Hey, what is this, Justin? This carbonated beverage. What is it?
An energy drink?
Yes, but I mean, what is the genre of drink? Is it a soda, or is it a pop, or is it a Coke? Or what?
See, I would call it an energy drink, but yeah, I say soda.
You say soda?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I do because I know that because I've always said, you want to go grab a Coke? And that's always been like the generic, let's go grab a drink, go grab something.
Yeah, but no one calls a Dr. Pepper a Coke, or no one says.
Well, you
no
say
one
that.
Says, hey, I want a Coke, and they're like, oh, which one you want? No, they say we have Pepsi, or
yeah,
they say okay, Coke. Like that's it. Like Coke, you're getting Coca-Cola. Like I've never been anywhere where Coke meant anything other than Coca-Cola.
You don't get out much.
I'm sure there's somewhere that
everybody in the
I want a Coke. Which one?
Everybody in the chat, back me up. That's been quite common for a long time.
No, because if they don't have Coca-Cola, they say, is Pepsi okay?
Oh, I know.
Pepsi is not Coke.
I know.
Pepper is not Coke. Mountain Dew. No one says, I want a Coke. Ooh, Mountain Dew sounds good. I've never heard that before.
Oh, heavens.
Yeah, now we do have some people that say pop.
Yeah, they're weird, though.
But yeah, I would never have a fridge of Dr. Pepper and Pepsi and say, oh, go get a Coke out of the fridge. We have Coke in the fridge. I would say, no, we have sodas in the fridge. We have Dr. Pepper or Pepsi or Coke.
Yeah.
Man, Coke is a weird word when you say it enough times.
It is. Yeah. What you know how people use the word beverage all of a sudden? Like, would you like a beverage?
Yeah, that's the PC term.
A beverage? No, I don't want a beverage. Give me a stinking beer. Come on. I'd like an adult beverage. No, I want a margarita. I want some mojitos.
Exactly.
All the Southern Baptists and they're passing out right now in the show.
Yep, our view count just went down. No,
yeah, they're falling out of their chairs. Oh no!
All right, Email
guys.
just went out, so we should be good to go. Should have a couple more people coming in.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got someone new in the YouTube chat.
Ooh,
Israel
good.
Diaz. Hello, Israel.
Hello to the YouTubers out there. If you are watching a recording of the show, basically this is us doing our live show. We're doing you guys are the live studio audience. We're doing a live recording of the Church Media Guys show. Ooh, and I just heard my robot vacuum cleaner turn on, which means he might be coming in here to bother us.
I know how loud those things are. We have one too. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. We've got a sunken living room. So I have one that I keep like in the hallway and it does like the whole back half of the house. And I've got to get one now to put in the living room. I know it's a first world problem, but I've got to get one to put in the living room just so it can go and do its thing. And I should make a ramp that goes up to the kitchen so that it can just ring right up the ramp. That would be cool. Brandon Swain says it's clearly pop. Wait, Brandon Swain, isn't he like up in the north somewhere in Weirdoville?
He's in New York, I think.
Oh my gosh. Hey, can we New York, okay. We're really slumming. I'm just kidding, Brandon. How you doing, buddy? Glad you're here.
All right, I'm going to take this moment to share the video, and then we'll get started.
Awesome.
So, yeah, if you want other people to see this, this is the live recording. Actually, Dave, I didn't tell you about this.
What's that?
I had someone email me the other day.
Really? What'd they email you?
They pretty much said
a coupon.
This was a huge waste of time. I watched it for 20 minutes, and then the show got decent. You guys need to tighten it up, and I'll give you one more shot.
Oh, that's.
Oh, and by the way, I'm so busy.
Yeah. So busy they took the time to send it. Well, here's the deal, folks. This live show is not a fully produced live show. So, sorry. If you want to see the really tight version, then you need to subscribe to our podcast. Go to ctapodcast.com and subscribe to the podcast. And it doesn't get tighter than that. It's so tight that we cut 15 minutes. That's
exactly what I told him. I was like, first of all, you're a super busy guy and you had time to give us feedback. I super appreciate it. Like that actually does mean a lot. It means he wants us to succeed. That's how I
absolutely
see it. And then I told him, I was like, hey, if you only have time for, to get into the nitty gritty, follow us on podcasts and YouTube. This is more of us having fun, chatting, extracurricular stuff, and kind of giving the, like I said, it's a live recording. I mean, it takes, what is it? How long does it take to do a 30-minute sitcom recording in LA? Is like 4 hours or something like that?
To shoot it could take 5 or 6. It all depends on how tightly they did their rehearsals and
to go watch a live. Like I watched the behind the scenes on Big Bang Theory.
Oh yeah, it's an all night thing from like 5 till 10.
Well, yeah, for the production, but the live audience I think is there for what 4 to 6 hours or something like that.
Yeah, long time.
I think I read it takes a few weeks to do just half a season.
Oh, absolutely.
So I mean, it's the same thing here. We produce a 30-minute, 40-minute show. We take about an hour to film.
I do
you guys coming in and kind of influencing kind of the things we say and talk about.
Absolutely. I do a live TV show every day, and it's I'm there 30 or so minutes beforehand getting set up, and then sometimes a guest is late. So we kind of like hold the segment if we know they're going to be here in 2 minutes. We kind of wait and stuff. So for 45 minutes worth of content, that we're streaming live while we do it and stuff. But I mean, it'll be an hour and a half easy for our live show, and that's what it is. ultimately, folks, we will be doing this, I'm sure, highly produced, live, real sets, and the works, and all that kind of stuff as to do it. But this is kind of our hangout time with y'all, so we're enjoying the community. And
that's what this is really about is interacting with people and hanging out with folks. Christopher Hall, he's not an insider yet, but he might as well be. He's hanging out. He had a really cool, really good post this morning. I know he's a member of Sunday U, so Chris, I'm not asking you to also be a member of Insiders unless you just really want to. But some really good people. Jordan's in here. He's an insider.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Swain, one of our good friends. He actually just used one of our resources for a blog post.
Yep.
For ministry resources, so you can go check that out. It's just good to get to know the people in here and meet new people like Israel on YouTube. Dave, I'm ready to start. I got it shared. I think we're good to go.
Let me grab the video clip for our show. By the way, you're not going to see if you're watching it live and worried, you're not going to see the entire interview in here. You're going to get about 10 minutes and 30 seconds of it. And then when you go and grab the podcast or watch the YouTube video, then you will get the entire thing. By the way, that is ctapodcast.com, and you can go and subscribe on your platform of choice. And we really need we need to do a push on that because I really want to get those get people using that as a resource and sharing that as a resource because we put a lot of work
into
it. We put a lot of work into it. We got an audio version and a video version for you guys. So.
Yeah, it's really weird because our YouTube numbers just are insane, growing which by the way, if no one knows, last time I checked it was 1,200.
Yeah,
we crossed 1,000 people. We haven't said anything really about it.
Yep.
Let me see what we're at now.
I know we don't tell people to go to YouTube, but they're finding us, which is pretty dadgum awesome.
Hashtag keyword research.
Yeah.
The importance.
It is. We talked about that last night in our mastermind group, in our group coaching call. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to test real quick the video. Let me just make sure it's going to fire off for us.
Today on the Church Media Guys podcast.
It did. Look at that. That was awesome. Okay. And you're seeing.
We're sitting at 1,250 subscribers, and that's just organic.
Yep.
Keyword research and everything. So yeah,
brilliant. Okay,
good stuff.
And by the way, you can see the feed on what do you call it? Right on Zoom.
The feed. Yes, I can actually.
Okay,
I'm so used to not being able to see you.
I know. Yeah, and so you'll be able to see and hear the video as well. We did this last night on our call. I got it set up so that all the people that join us for our live group coaching call. Are able to see the feed and do all that, and I can do all the recording here on my machine and not just from within Zoom. So anyway, let's get it started. Let me kill the music, and let me find. Okay, so I've got that screen. Whoops, yeah, I got that screen right there. Got that screen right there, and I got us right there. Brilliant. Okay. Hello, Rock Davis. Rock Davis makes the very poignant comment of truth. Fellas! Exclamation points. So, Rock! All right, guys, here we go. Is your church nailing it on social media, or are you just tilting at windmills? Are you preaching to the choir? That's what we're going to be talking about today. How was that? Did you like that?
I thought it was good.
Yeah? You thought it was...
Can you do a little bit more because I think this is, in a good way, a very controversial piece by Jonathan. I think that's why I called it Social Media for Church Needs a Facelift.
Yeah, well, that's why in the email I sent out, I said, you're doing it all wrong. Your church is doing social media wrong. Okay. So let me get controversial.
That should be really easy for you, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's told you or not, but your church is doing social media all wrong. You guys are missing it big time. And today we're going to show you how to fix that. Was that better?
I liked it. You know me, I don't like a whole lot of controversy, but I like that.
Yeah, I got no problem with it.
We'll pick whichever one is better in post.
Awesome. That sounds good. Tell us in the chat. Brock, was that good? Did I do good? Was I good? Jonathan, was I good? Did I do it right? All right, here we go. Let's do the welcome. Hey guys, welcome to another thrill-packed episode of the Church Media Guys Show. My name is Dave Curley, and if we've not met, I am the founder of ChurchTrainingAcademy.com, which is a place where you, me, other ministry-minded folks all come together to learn how to use and exploit media and technology so that we can take the gospel into this great big world that we have out here called the internet. With me, as always, is my trusty and rusty sidekick, Justin Nava. Good morning.
Need oil. Need oil. I'm kidding. You call me Rusty, but I have to. You can't set me up like that.
Hey, here we go.
For anyone watching on audio, or listening on audio, they have no idea what just happened. What's up, Dave? What's up, everyone watching the podcast, the YouTube play, or watching live? Special what's up to Israel, who's watching live. I don't think they've ever watched live. And Dave, quick question.
Israel, like the nation? Wow, we're huge in Israel.
At least with one.
Yes, with one.
Dave, Rock Davis is watching live, and I want to give him props for watching live.
Yes.
He asks, what cams are we using for our live streaming? So real quick,
yes,
30 seconds, Dave. What cams are we using? You gave me my webcam, so I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, your webcam is a Logitech C910. Mine, I have right here, is a C920, and it's on a mic arm so that I can move it around. And I will show you, 2 seconds here. There we go. This camera right here is my Sony FX. Is it the FX or is it the AX? It's the FX 300, something like that, 3,000, 300, 3,000, 3 billion, I don't know, whatever. It's a 4K Handycam, and it is 33. That's what it is. Anyway, it is fantastic. I love it. It is a great camera. It shoots in 4K. I am not bringing it in 4K. I'm bringing it in as 1080. And I need to upgrade my video card, and then I can actually bring it in as like 1080 60, and then it gets really sexy. Anyway, but that's what we're using, and yeah, and we're using OBS. OBS is the software that we're using to do this. Why, Dave, are we using OBS? Number one, it's free. Number two, it's actually pretty light on the resources on your system, and number three, it is hot out in my garage where my TriCaster is and my full big huge lights and wall and television and big huge production set is and all that. So right now you're in here in my office, my room, see, right here in my studio here. And you?
Awesome. Yeah, you're in my office, my studio. You can't see it because of the dual view, but you can see I got my Iron Man stuff all set up here. And Dave, you got me a backlight for my stuff, but I don't have a power plug for it.
What?
So I have to get a power strip.
Oh yeah, because it's just
all up.
Just a little. Hang on, let me get you on the left screen there. There you go. Yeah. There you are.
There we go.
Sorry. Yeah, we got you a light, but it's a 3-pronger.
Sure.
Yeah, 3. So
I
yeah.
got to get a power strip because I'm using one for my Iron Man and the other one for my fan. So I need to get a power strip so I can have
rock and roll.
So I can plug that in. So
yeah. Awesome. So that's what we're doing. So welcome to the show, Justin. I'm glad you're here. We are going to be talking about how social media that most churches are doing is completely missing the mark. We'll have a clip from our interview with Jonathan Malm, who is an author. And what website does he run? Sunday Social?
He runs Sunday Social and Church Stage Designs.
Yes, Church Stage Designs. Really cool. Really good author, really good guy. You guys are going to like it. He's got some great insights. And it was interesting when we were going through the interview with him and stuff. Were you having some aha moments like, duh, why didn't I? That all makes so much sense. Why haven't I thought of that? Moments like I did?
Yeah, the whole thing was an aha moment.
Yeah.
Like, aha, I've been doing it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be sharing that with you in just a few moments. But first, we're going to jump into our pro tip.
It's the title song that never ends. Pro tip.
Jazz hands. All right, today for our pro tip, Justin and I were talking earlier about photos, and we kind of realized that we had talked in several episodes back over the course of several episodes. We seem to be coming back to this thing about your website, the photos, and photo management, all this kind of stuff. We're starting to put together some resources that are like specifically in the photography and website area and stuff. And you had a pretty neat idea that I hadn't even really thought of. I had a little bit, Justin, but share with them what you were telling me that not only we need to do at our churches, but everybody else needs to do.
Yeah, so real simple pro tip. Again, this one's not a tool, it's a tip, is to build your own stock library. Now, you hear us talk a lot. You want to use pictures of your church and your people, your assets on your social media, your website, your marketing materials. You want it to be your people. You don't want it to be a generic family that is on other church websites. You don't want it to be this guy who's on, and obviously on Fiverr or whatever. You want it to be your people. Show your church, show your culture, show your activities, and you want something to pull from. So instead of pulling from stock photos and free photo sites that everyone is using, instead start building your own library. Now, what this does for you is you have a library, your own stock photo library, like First Baptist stock photos, and you can actually build your own library of children's photos, youth photos, group photos, senior photos, worship photos. And then anytime you need a photo for a graphic or background or something, a marketing material, you just go in there and grab one of your photos. It's as simple as that. So instead of going to Unsplash or Pixabay or anywhere else you go to, you have your own library. Then what you can do also is host it on Google Photos.
Yeah.
To our walkthrough on that, and you can share that library out to anyone else that needs stuff. So if you're working at the church but you have a volunteer running your social media, you can both have access to that stock library, and it's your people. And let me tell you, engagement goes through the roof when you use your own people. Yeah, pretty baby, obviously not at your church. Hey, come to our Easter egg hunt. That's cute. Okay. But if you put a picture of little Taylor Robinson, picking up an Easter egg in your backyard, that gets, first of all, it's like, oh, I know her, like, share, hey, look at, and then, hey, Facebook might know that that's so-and-so's daughter. So it feeds it to their family and in the feed. There's just engagement when you use actual people in your church just goes through the roof. So pro tip, build your own stock photo library for your own church. And Dave, you want to read off a couple of tips as far as getting those photos?
Yeah. As far as like acquiring them.
Yeah, there's a couple of things in the show notes. Little photography tips.
Yeah. Hang on a sec. Yeah. One of the things that you need to realize is that you're going to have one photo that just really nails it, and unless you're like a professional photographer, and we've got professional photographers as CTA insiders, and they will tell you that you're going to take a lot of photos before you get just that one. In fact, I remember you were talking, Justin, about you had this shot of a gentleman in your church, and there's like 3 or 4 people, some backs were to him, and he was talking, and you're running around with your DSLR, and you saw this little group of men talking, and so you just fired it off, and eventually his eyes were at the right place. His mouth was at the right place. The smirk on his face was at the right place. And a hand was like reaching out to pat him or something like that. Anyway, and it was that perfect shot. And so you have that shot and you get rid of the other 95 that it took to catch that one thing. It's kind of like shooting video and then just sort of working by it frame by frame until you find the right one. So don't think that you're going to get the perfect shot every time. Don't just be like waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like you see someone start to go and hug, you just start firing it off. And then you'll eventually get to the frame where the hug is the best, and that one is the hug shot, that sort of thing. So definitely do that. And what you put one in here about don't worry about hitting everything at once. That's really important. Don't feel like you got to do it all today. Okay, if you have someone who is going to be the photographer that's kind of roaming around for the next 8 weeks, he needs to be just focusing on the people out in the foyer coming in and saying hi, and maybe during the shaking meeting and greeting time, and the after church time. Not even any shots of the service. You know what I'm saying? Needs to focus on one thing and just spend time doing that unless something dramatic happens and you needs to catch it. But don't think you have one service. I've got 47 minutes that I need to get all 300 of these photos. You know what I'm saying? Don't stress over that.
Yeah, you gotta maintain the long term. So often as churches, we try to get it all done at the last minute in 1 week. This is a long-term strategy. Imagine next year you have the whole library of all 10 of your ministries and worship photos. that's next year. So one time a month, one time a quarter, go out and just shoot, just take pictures of, groups.
Right.
And then the next month, just take pictures of children's ministry, just take pictures. And then over time, you build up this huge library. So don't feel like you have to get it all at once, because you'll be running back and forth. And if you only get 10 pictures of every ministry, guess what? You only have probably one usable one. So,
Right. Exactly.
Take your time. And this is a long-term strategy. Dave, as a content upgrade, Dave, I'm sorry, I got to hurt your feelings here. We had talked about as an upgrade for this pro tip that's going out, we were going to do 50 photos you need for your church stock library.
Mm-hmm.
I'm committing to 77.
We
need to come up with 77 photos that you need to take because I just really we're all about blowing you out of the water here. So when this goes out, we're going to have a link down below. If you're watching on YouTube, click the link to go to our site and download it. Click below if you're in the blog post. 77 pictures you need in your stock photo library. This is free and give you an idea of where to start when you're building your stock photo library.
Yeah, and I can tell you right now, we will not have 77 examples. Some of them are going to be
no, they're just hey, kids eating snacks.
Exactly.
Like that's it. That's one picture that you need because you're going to need it someday.
If we do have examples, we are going to throw those in there because we want you to see the impact that it can have. But there's going to be some that we haven't gotten yet. Okay, so don't worry about that. We will do that. And for our pro tip, I'm going to just show you guys some organization stuff that I do for organizing all of our photos and like the stock and all that. The stock library that I have for our church, believe it or not, when I lost about 4.5 terabytes worth of hard drive here about a month ago, I lost a chunk of that had not made it up to my backup. So I am having to rebuild some of our stock stuff. So it's not as fleshed out as I want it to be, but I'll show you how I'm organizing that just so that you guys can easily go and find what you're looking for. Okay, it's just some ideas. I'm kind of big on file organization and stuff like that. It annoys Justin, but he gets happy when he can find things.
It doesn't annoy me. It just annoys me that I don't know where everything is. Folders on folders on folders. Dave, I think that needs to be a separate pro tip. Maybe next week we'll do a pro tip on just organization.
Just organization. Anyway, so we'll have all that for you guys in the pro tip.
Hey, speaking of pro tips, let me tell you, in our church media hacks, I'm going to share an article later today.
Okay.
We were talking about this last night. We shared it a few months ago, but we have literally like 600% more people in our group.
No, it's crazy. We've grown by 100 this week.
Yeah, so I'm going to share it again. There's something that you're supposed to do when you want to clean your memory card, not physically clean it, but wipe it clean. There's a certain way you're supposed to do it and a certain way you're not supposed to do it. And I had no idea. Because I was just doing it on the camera, and you're not supposed to do that. And you're supposed to do it on your computer. And I'm going to share that article in our church media hacks because that really is like, hey, take care of your cards and make them last longer. Clean them on your computer.
Yeah.
Tips like this, tips like the photos you're supposed to be taking, and a lot of questions people have. We were talking about font organization this morning. That's all happening in our church media hacks group. So if you're not in there yet, go to churchmediahacks.com, ask to join our group. We don't let just anyone in. We only let in church media volunteers, pastors, leaders, anyone doing websites or live streaming. If you're from Abu Dhabi and you don't have any church, you just want to sell something, you're not going to get in. This is a filtered group, but anyone in church media can come and you can ask questions. Like we said to this morning, Chris was asking about font management. We were talking about IGTV last week and kind of some ideas with that. So this is for church media people who don't have the large budget, don't have the large team, don't have a large chunk of time. These are shortcuts, tips, and tricks to get the job done better. And actually today I'm going to talk about memory cards and how you can make your memory cards last longer with this article I'm going to share. So if you're not in there, I want you to see that article. Go to churchmediahacks.com. Ask to come in, I'll approve you, and we'll learn things together.
Yeah, and by the way, if you are in Abu Dhabi and you're like, First Baptist Abu Dhabi, hey, come on.
Yes, but not Abu Dhabi. I'm just selling stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, not at some marketplace in Abu Dhabi.
That's who I'm talking about.
No. A camera store in Abu Dhabi, we don't want you in our group. There's other groups for you, not ours.
There are some requests that I get that they don't answer our questions, and then I go into their profile and it's just post after post after post of it works.
Yes,
I'm like,
exactly. No. Sorry, folks, you can't play in our pool.
No mention of church anywhere on their profile.
That's right. No swimming in our pool.
Right.
All right, this is where Justin's going to do his little song and dance routine for our feature presentation. Okay, go for it.
Feature. Present. Tation.
That's funny. By the way, if you haven't taken a look at the published episode of this week's show, I did some fantastic, filter and echo and all this kind of stuff on your little.
I did. You made me out to be the Bee Gees.
Yeah. That was awesome. All right, guys, we're gonna play our interview clip. We got about 10 minutes or so of a clip with the lovely and talented Jonathan Malm, who is a new personal friend of ours and a resource that we are using regularly and a brilliant mind. So I'd like to share this with y'all.
Today on the Church Media Guys podcast, we are interviewing the manliest man that I know, Jonathan Malm. Jonathan's a creative entrepreneur and author. He runs SundaySocial.tv, a company that helps churches engage with their communities on social media, and he's written multiple books, including Unwelcome and the soon-to-be-released Baker book titled The Comeback Effect. Links to both of those will be down below. And I heard, rumor has it, Jonathan doesn't get haircuts. His hair actually cuts scissors. Jonathan, welcome to the Church Media Guys podcast.
Hello. I feel like I need to lower my voice an octave or two now.
Manly men are comfortable with their own voices, I think.
Truth.
So,
We're so glad you're here, Jonathan. Well, hey, dude, we're glad you're here, man. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to chill with us for a little bit and to share some of the wisdom that apparently you just can't help but put in books and like be like a really cool author and all this kind of stuff. We appreciate you, sort of slumming it with us for a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta come down to the common people's level every now and then.
Yes.
and as a common person, I really appreciate it. Fantastic. Like I said, we'll have both of your books down below in the show notes because they are really good books. Looking forward to that comeback effect. So, Jonathan, today, though, we're talking about social media. And It's interesting how we came across this because I am a proud Sunday Social subscriber. Every month I use your images for my own church, and I absolutely love it. And you actually started emailing, which again, I love. You actually started emailing your subscribers with tips, tricks, strategies, tactics to use with your own stuff. And you sent an email about how we should be using social media. And it was unlike just about anything else out there as far as how to view social media for your church. So Jonathan, that's actually what we're talking about today. So first, I want to kind of talk about big picture. First question is, who is social media for when we use it for the church?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of people trying to tout social media as a witnessing platform. Like this is your new outreach approach, and I don't actually agree with that. I think that's misusing social media, and I think a lot of churches are struggling, finding that they're getting very little engagement. They're trying to figure out how to use Facebook ads without any success, and they feel like there's this target out in the distance, but they can't hit it, and they don't know why. And I think a lot of it comes from that mentality of thinking that social media is to witness, is to reach people who are not connected to your church. But the thing about it is that there are really only probably two reasons that people are following your church on social media. And the first one is that they work at a church down the road, and so they're trying to see what you're doing. Or they probably already have some sort of connection with your church. Either they've attended themselves, or they have a family member attended, or a friend. So they have some connection with your church already. That's the only reason they're really actually connecting with your church on social media. So if you're trying to witness to them, you're probably missing the mark. Or if you're trying to constantly get them to, hey, come to church, or come to this event, or man, you're preaching to the choir and you're not being super effective with social media. So that's, I think, one of the big issues people have with hitting that target that they feel is somewhere out there beyond their grasp.
It's almost like they don't realize that they should treat the social media on their church almost like, or their church's page, their church's social media account, almost like their personal account. The guy across the street is not going to be like, ooh, Tate Springs Baptist Church, I got to follow him. He's not doing that, whereas the guy in the choir is. So until you articulated that I want to say that that's probably been floating around in the back of my head, and I probably knew that. But when you put it into words, it's like, duh. Is there you think a strategy for getting people to follow your brand, or to follow your pastor, or to follow your church for social media, that can be effective, so that we can serve them and we can encourage and enlighten and witness and share, you following me there?
Yeah. So here's I think a great illustration, since we're talking about personal accounts. I have a lot of friends at church, and every now and then one of them will follow me on social media. They'll want to be my friend on Facebook. And what I do, this is my new technique for vetting people, even if I know them, is I will look at their last like 5 posts, or their recent 5 posts. And if any of them are about Plexus, Rodan and Fields, It Works, any of those like multi-level marketing things, I'm not going to follow them back, and I'm not going to engage with them. The reason is that they're going to be constantly asking of me. It becomes a one-sided, self-seeking approach to social media, and that's not what I want to use social media for. And so I think a lot of churches are actually in that same boat, where if you look at their last 5 posts, there's nothing adding to my life. There's nothing encouraging. There's nothing like inspiring. There's nothing funny. It's really just saying, hey, come to our next service, or hey, make sure and tithe. Hey, make sure and come to a small group. Hey, it's all of these asks, and there's nothing that's being contributed back to my life. And so I think that's a big deal. Is the reason we love following Wendy's, the people who do follow Wendy's, is that it's funny. It actually adds to my life. They're not constantly telling me to buy the latest burger. They're making fun of their latest burger, or they're making fun of Chick-fil-A, or they're in these little feuds with other fast food restaurants.
Like they were doing last week with the IHOP thing. Yeah.
With IHOP. Yeah. So it's fun. It's something that adds to my life. And there are a few different kind of topics that add to my life, which is entertainment, funny, something fun. There's encouraging, there's inspirational. Those are the things people are probably wanting from your church. Probably not as much funny, although you can go that way, but really things that mirror what I'm getting from you on Sunday morning. That's what I want you to give me during the rest of the week. I don't want you to ask me to keep coming to Sunday morning. I want you to carry on what I experienced Sunday morning and carry it on throughout the week.
Well, I'm going to challenge you, because you said maybe your church shouldn't be doing something necessarily funny or something like that. And I think that's completely contrary, because I think too many churches focus on just the spiritual aspects of life and stuff. And that, I mean, we are so much more complex than that. I don't walk up to Justin and the first thing I do is go, well, I'm praying for you, brother. And I want you to know that the Lord is watching over you and guiding you.
Some people do.
No, I know. And that those people are one-dimensional. And, there's so much more in our life. So I encourage everybody to be funny, to share something silly, to share some dumb-looking meme, some kid with blue icing all over his face, sitting in his high chair, and the thing says, bring me another Smurf. I mean, that's hilarious, Share that with your people and stuff, because there's so much more. You need to speak into their lives at all these different levels.
Yeah. And I think, though, probably what I was saying with that is make sure that whatever you're posting on social media is in line with who you are as a church. I think sometimes churches try to be funny on social media, and they miss a key element of humor. And the key element of humor is making something funny about the other person's world. They need to relate with it. And have you noticed that like jokes that we say in church are really funny, even though they probably wouldn't be funny outside of the church? Like if you mention Starbucks, they're like, ooh, so edgy and cool. Whereas like Starbucks is part of my everyday life. That's not in any way edgy or cool or funny. So there's an element of being aware that the people engaging with your jokes are outside of the church and are experiencing, some memes that are hilarious. And so if you're making a joke like, oh, you think it's hot outside, try hell. Like, that's not a funny joke, first of all, even though a lot of churches think it is, and a lot of marquees will tell you differently. But second of all, is it's not what people are relating with on the day-to-day basis. Like, that's not, I'm not questioning hell right now. Like, I'm noticing something that Donald Trump is doing, or I'm noticing something that is going on with Wendy's or IHOP. Like, those are the funny things. So trying to make it about yourself is not funny, but making it about what people are engaging with, that is funny.
Let me ask you this. This is kind of the big golden question. And I think where the real meat of today's show is going to be is, what should churches be posting on social media?
Yeah, I mean, I alluded that a little bit to that a little bit, but really it's about taking what's happening on Sunday morning and expanding that and making that something that's applicable, like that emphasis, that's applicable to
You're an
their life
author.
on it.
You're an author. You get these big words.
But I spoke that right. That was amazing. But so that's something that applies to their everyday life. You know, it's really something that, like, whatever's happening on Sunday morning, I think you can apply that and work that out throughout the week. You know, the crazy thing is, and then Brady Shear talks about this a lot, is most churches, assuming everyone comes to our church once a week, which is not the statistic. The statistic is like 3 out of 8 only come to church. Like, you know, it's crazy. They come maybe 1 every 4 times now. That's the new statistic. So assuming they come every week, we really only have 1 hour out of 168 hours a week. So how can we take that 1 hour and expand it and make it broader? It's really, I think, a dynamic shift in churches. And it's something I've noticed with Sunday Social, and something that I think a lot of people aren't getting, is that it used to be that all of the media, all of the content, everything that churches were consuming and using and producing and creating were about Sunday morning. And so that's where 99% of the focus went, right? 99% of the energy. Now it's shifting where we're trying to figure out how to create stuff the rest of that week. And so a lot of the momentum is shifting to social media, because that's where we have that touch point with people throughout the week. So I think really, and this is going to blow some people's minds, but I think that the message is probably needing to reduce in importance. I still think it should be rich. It still should be like dripping with scripture, but reducing the importance of that, and then figuring out ways to get that content and make it in ways that applies to people during the week.
Preach.
Preach is right. That was a clip from our interview with the fantastically brilliant Jonathan Malm, and he has some really key insights there, I thought. You know, when he said when he said you know, we're trying to like witness to people through our church's social media thing, that's kind of tilting at windmills. I mean, that's not. I mean, my atheist friend is not on our church's website. I mean, he's not on our church's Facebook page. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying, and this is exactly what I was talking about this week. You know, this week at the time of the live show,
right?
We recorded a training called "How to Be a Beast at Social Media," and goes along exactly with what we were saying. You know, don't advertise, don't make an ask more than once a week. You know, let's switch it up here. And I gave 6 other different post types that weren't, hey, join us. Come on, come in. What you doing? What you waiting for? Why aren't you here? We love you. We miss you. You don't want to miss it. You know, all of that stuff. Like, no, I will allow you to do it once a week. And this is exactly what we were talking about in the training. If you missed it, if you're not part of Church Hacks right now, sorry, you missed it. It will be a mini course you can purchase at a very small price later on. But you know, that's why we love our Church Hacks, you know, founding subscribers. So yeah, it's exactly what we're talking about. You know, that's not what this is meant for. No one goes on to social media because they want to be preached at,
right?
You know, we go to different places for that. We go to podcasts for that. We go to church. We go to YouTube. Social media is a distraction. It's for education. It's for entertainment. And if you have a clip that can do that, awesome. If you have an image that can do that, awesome. You want to be encouraging, awesome. But yeah, it's very rare that you get outside of your circle, you know, and the circle might be friends of friends or friends of friends of friends, but you're not just going to find anyone for free organically on Facebook.
Right.
It's just not going to happen.
Now, that's not to say that your church can't have some resources that the individuals can share on their profiles. Okay.
Right.
So I do want to encourage that. There are those encouraging things. There are things like that. But
yeah, encouraging things, but no turn or burn kind of things. You're just going to be preaching to the choir. When that gets shared, it's being shared by your hardcore church members, and it's going to be liked and commented on by more hardcore church members. Right. You're forming that echo chamber. So instead, let's use it for good. And like Jonathan said in his email, let's have the church speak into the daily life of its members and not spend so much time trying to build that echo chamber and get out to people who don't know you. There's a time and a place for that. Paid advertising for sure. But organically, let's, you know, like me and my church Facebook page is a place for kind of like a landing page. It's where we show off what we've done. It's like our press release.
Yeah.
Our Instagram, we know, can be a little bit more discoverable. So we do a lot more encouragement, a lot more humor, a lot more behind the scenes there. So, you know what your goals are, but the goal isn't preaching 24/7.
Right.
It just, that's like, network marketing, hey, oh, here comes James. I know he's going to ask me again about a supplement company. It gets old real quick.
Yeah. It goes back to our idea of making your church relevant to the area, making your church a hub in the community. No one would be coming to your church, no matter how good the preacher is, if the preacher was standing out on the front porch, holding up his Bible, going, "Sinners, the end is near. Come now, ringing a bell," or even if he was standing out on a corner, in the middle of an intersection doing that and stuff. No one's going to go, "Gosh, I got to get to that church. Holy moly!" That's not going to happen. Change in people's lives is going to happen on a one-to-one basis, and it's going to happen in those times when you have a friend who just said that they had cancer and their cancer has come back, and you know that friend is not a Christian, and in the comments you tell them, "Hey, I want you to know that I'm praying for you, and if you need anything, I'm here." And then you turn around and direct message them in Messenger and say, "You want to go get some coffee? Can you have coffee with your chemo? What can you have? I'd like to come and just hang out with you." And then the two of you can sit there and talk, and you can pray with them and start speaking into their life and affect change in that person's life. Just like our stupid political rants and stuff, there's times when you need to speak truth and shed light on the truth. Okay, never shy away from that, but also don't just run out there yelling and screaming, right?
That's why people think we're crazy.
Right.
It's because they've experienced that.
Yeah, and the idea is we are, in a lot of ways, crazy, but they don't need to know that.
There's a time and a place.
That's right.
So Dave, I talked about the Beast training.
Yes.
That's going to be up for our CTA insiders to consume. We also have some other resources for our CTA insiders. Take us out. What is Church Training Academy, and where can we get more training and hands-on information and help navigating social media?
Well, the Beast episode, the Beast training that Justin did in our Facebook group, our Church Media Hacks group, is a free training that he did in there live. He came up with this crazy idea, and I want to tell you, I think it's a brilliant idea, that every 100 members, the 100 people that join, he would do a training, a Facebook training in there. And what we do basically is do the training and live and talk to folks and share all the information and all that sort of stuff. And then we leave it up for a few days, then we pull it down, and it becomes a course for CTA insiders. So if you are a CTA insider and you have access to all this sort of stuff, if you're not a CTA insider and you're saying, "What's a CTA insider?" Let me tell you what a CTA insider is. I'm going to see how many times I can say insider. Basically, you can become a member of Church Training Academy by going to churchtrainingacademy.com/join. And you can get access to all of the training, all the courses, all the guides, all the resources that we do. We are building a library. In fact, we have a lot of stuff we haven't published up there yet, including this mini course that he did over in the Hacks group, and some the one that he did this last week, the one that he did prior as well. All these different things are in there in our members section. Now, another thing that you get when you join the Church Training Academy and become an insider is you get access to our twice-a-month live coaching call. So what we call it a mastermind, and it kind of is a mastermind when you think about it. Justin and I and our insiders get together on a live group video call, and everybody takes a turn asking a question or presenting a problem or presenting a roadblock that they've come across, and me and Justin and all the other members try to help them get that problem solved. We work through it, and if it takes 5 minutes, it takes 5 minutes. If it takes 25 minutes, it takes 25 minutes. I mean, I've done trainings in there. I had a new member ask something about setting up their video studio at the church and what kind of lighting and stuff like that. And so I just started showing them. I had some pictures of our studio at our church, and I said, "Here's these lights, here's these lights. Let's go to Amazon for a sec." We brought up Amazon, and I looked them up, and I said, "Here's the ones that I bought, and here's why I bought them," and blah, 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 all this sort of stuff. So you get access to that, okay? And we're recording all that stuff, and we're putting it in the member section. So you get this really cool kind of like a growing knowledge base of questions and answers. Ask a question. What was it last night? should our church be on Twitter? Okay, so if you were go into the members area on the churchtrainingacademy.com site and type in Twitter, then as you're typing in Twitter, anything that has Twitter in the title or in the body of the post or whatever is going to show up, and then you can be like, oh, here's a question: should our church be on Twitter? And then you see the video of Tommy asking the question and Justin and Tommy discussing being on Twitter. Really cool, and that is a part of your membership. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff. So just go to churchtrainingacademy.com/join and join. Now, we're right in the middle of our soft launch, which is the time where we're working kinks out and we're coming up with new ideas and we're doing stuff and trying to get all these pieces put together. So you can be a charter member right now for next to nothing. And when I say next to nothing, I mean next to nothing. It's like less than $30 a month, okay? You're going to get access to this, everything that we're doing from this point forward. Your rate is not ever going to go up. So when we decide that we want to make, this is not a we're charging too little for this. We're putting out tens of thousands of dollars worth of information, and we're only charging this much, so we need to raise up our prices. Yours are going to be locked in because you got in now. So churchtrainingacademy.com/join. That price that you see there, both the monthly and the yearly, is going away very soon. And if you're watching this like a few months from today, whenever today is, look at the post date if you can, and it's changed, sorry, our soft launch is over. We're doing it for real this time, so go for it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing all the wealth of information and helping us to think outside of the box. It's always neat to have these aha moments, and frankly, my whole life sometimes is an aha moment, and this was definitely one of those. When he said that we're kind of preaching to the choir, and people aren't going out and searching out our church unless they're maybe a close friend of ours who has visited and likes our church, or who knows our pastor or something like that. Everything started to click and all starts to make sense. So guys, take this information that we've gotten from Jonathan, take the pro tips, take all the stuff that we've been talking about today, and go out there and change lives. Faduga. That's the show, folks. That's the show. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. CTA is awesome. Thank you. I like that. That's a good comment, guys. Brandon Swain said yes with a whole lot of exclamation points. He's really excited about something. So that's awesome. Brandon, how you doing there, buddy? And he said dang. So I don't know why Brandon said dang. Brandon, why'd you say dang? Why'd you say dang, dude? Let's see. Christopher Hall, we need to witness by what we are doing instead of just preaching. Dude, never have more truer words been said. That's one of the things. Anybody, okay, any of y'all that know me in everyday run around life, not the, you guys get what you see here, right? Okay, so when I'm doing the show, when I'm coming and doing live, when I'm live streaming, whatever, you guys are getting everything that is me, okay? But the people that have spent time with me away from the show, away from Church Training Academy, hang out with me at Starbucks, that edgy place, that hang out on my sofa or go out to dinner with me and stuff like that, that I have a ton of opinions and I'm not afraid to share them, and I got no problem with calling crap on crap, doing stuff like that. But when it comes to social media, just step back for a sec and take a look at what's going on out there, and take a look at the rhetoric that's going on, whether it's political rhetoric, social rhetoric, whether it is people trying to stir up other people or do whatever like that. It's just a bunch of yelling and screaming largely. And when you see these comment threads that your friends are in, that they've tagged you in, and you make one little comment or something, and then you start, for the next 3 days, you're going to be getting, somebody, replied to your comment. Somebody replied to a comment in a post that you're following, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. And it's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Guys, we are not going to be changing people's minds by typing in a Facebook thing. Nothing, and I'm serious, nothing in my values have changed ever. In fact, I had one guy who was making some really valid points. And I said, well, what you say makes a whole lot of sense. However, I'm not going to change my core principles and values because society thinks that it might be cooler if I do, and it's a little bit more accepted if I start thinking this way or something. And he was like, "Are you not flexible? You're not willing to change. You're not willing. I mean, how rigid are you and stuff?" And you don't understand. I got this core, and I'm not changing it for anybody. Period. Okay, everybody's like that, guys. If you can be just, whew, and all of a sudden, your entire value structure changes because someone types a comment or someone puts up a meme or something like that, then, I mean, you're going to be floating around whichever the way the wind blows and stuff. And like 95% of the people out there are like that. They're not going to change their core beliefs reading a comment or looking at a meme or somebody being snarky and go, huh, you know, whatever. I mean, I can't even think of anything snarky, and I'm like an extremely snarky person. But anyway, some snarky, pithy comment, you know, no one's going to go, you know what? That actually has rocked my world, and my entire belief and value structure has changed because of that. I am so glad that someone put that meme up of Kermit the Frog holding a thing of tea and put a word underneath it. Thank God for Kermit the Frog and tea. You know, it's not going to happen. Okay, it's going to happen in one-to-one, and that's what Chris is saying in the chat. It is going to happen one-to-one. It's going to happen when you're having dinner, okay, and you start talking, and you start having not a bunch of rhetoric and talking points, and I want everybody to think I'm awesome because I said this brilliant thing, and I typed 19 paragraphs, you know, and I cited the Constitution, and I, you know, cited, you know, all this stuff from the Bible and all this. No one's going to do that. Now, that's in social media and in comment streams, okay? They will when you do things like make a blog post and put thought and do research and share a viewpoint and cite things and do stuff like that. When you put thoughts out there, just like if you write a book, just like if you're preaching a sermon, just like if you're having a Bible study and you're doing stuff like that, that's a different thing. That's not just people spouting off a whole bunch of rhetoric. That's not a tweet. That's not a comment. That's not a meme. That's not, you know, that's actual thought-provoking stuff. Okay? So they're two different things. Keep them separated. Anyway. I'm going to see let's see. What did Brandon say? He said, dang. He said, I am doing great. I said, dang, about your awesome CTA offer. Oh, thanks, dude. Thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah, by the way, that's going away because it's getting we're on the edge. We're on the edge. By the way, we're trying to figure out, do we, and I'm just going to put this out there for anybody, just want to get your thoughts. We are considering shutting down enrollment for a little bit, for a few months, actually, and like not letting anybody enroll, and then opening it up for a couple of weeks and then shutting it down again. And I don't know, this time next year, opening it up again and stuff. Do you guys like that? Do you guys like when like enrollment for a course or for a membership site or something like that is only open for a short window? Or do you like it where, you know, when you're ready to join, you can join? I'm just curious. I'm just wondering what folks think about stuff like that, because I'm actually a member of sites that do both, and I've never really thought about it. And so now I'm at a point where I need to make that decision, and I'm just wondering, what do you guys think? What do y'all like? Let's see. I'm seeing a whole bunch of hearts going up. That's awesome. Thank you to the heart person. Steady Divine, thank you so much for the wisdom. Watching from Africa, Zambia. Wow. I've benefited from your YouTube. Dude, that's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I am amazed at where people are coming from. I'm going to put some music on. I'm amazed where people are coming from around the world. It's humbling. You know, I've been to Europe a little and been to Romania and Switzerland and stuff like that, and met a lot of people and talked to a lot of people and ministered to people and all this kind of stuff. But I am amazed that people in Zambia are like paying attention to what Justin and I have to say and what our community has to say. That is humbling. So thank you. Spread the word. Let's see. Brandon Swain joined. You said you joined. It says Brandon Swain joined, so I guess Brandon Swain just got in the left and came back into the group. So that's awesome. Glad you're back. Periodically enrollment makes sense. Okay, periodic enrollment makes sense. I think it does too. I kind of like that idea. I was who's the guy I do this with? Sorry, Justin. Justin and I were consulting with one of our mentors, and he was saying that if we do periodic enrollment periods, he said what you're doing is it's kind of like having a bakery or having a restaurant and saying we're only going to be open in June, and then being closed for the rest of the year. So that's why I'm asking. It's like, well, if I have a restaurant, I want people to come in and eat, 3 times a day would be great, So anyway, I don't know, we're just trying to figure it out. I do like y'all's thoughts. Jordan says both. Awesome. All right, guys. If you guys have any other questions, I can hang out for about another 5 minutes or so. It's 10 after 12. I've got a half dozen videos I've got to get done for our cable network. And then after that, I am going to go through and get all of our videos that we did last night in our mastermind. By the way, guys, I am not lying. Those of y'all who are still on the stream, y'all are watching. When, my pitch, in the show, when I say you need to join now, listen, between you, me, and the wall, okay, right now we're charging $27 a month to join, okay? That's going away, and it's going away pretty quick, okay? And yes, we've been saying that, but we are refining things. We want to make sure that when we, officially put the flag up and, say, hey, here it is, here's the membership and stuff like that, we want to make sure that that our rate is, we don't want to necessarily undercut other people that are in our space and all that, and we don't want to overcharge for stuff like that. But guys, we are offering a ton of stuff here, so we can't do it much longer at what we're doing, and it would be time to officially do it. So do it now, okay? That's all I'm saying. Do it now. And last night, y'all, if anybody is in any of our members in here, I know Jordan is. I saw Tommy earlier. I think Chris Oshinsky was in here as well. Any of y'all that are in here, Ramon, if you're watching, chime in as well. These folks can tell you that our masterminds are really cool. It's about 2 hours of, I'm kind of reining in a little bit and trying to formalize it a little bit more so I can make sure that I'm getting the recordings that I need to get, because, we've had times, and we usually end our last 30 minutes or so are usually just kind of free-for-all conversation where people are throwing ideas out and we're talking. We may have 2 or 3 conversations going on, which is great. That's the hanging out, in the hanging out in the fellowship hall time after the potluck dinner, and it's a great time, especially the idea sharing. My goodness, the idea sharing is fantastic. But when it comes to helping somebody through a roadblock or something, we're recording all these and we're putting them up. And what's cool is that there are times when we may repeat something, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we're building quite a library of, I'm thinking about doing this. What should I do? Last night was fantastic. Tommy has been with me way before Justin. Tommy was like the very first person to watch me do a live church media show way back at the beginning, I think of 2016, when I was, kind of, wandering around trying to figure out what I wanted to do, how I wanted to get all the stuff that I've been doing for the last 20 years out to the world. And so Tommy joined in and has been, a stalwart friend ever since. And he last night said, should my church be on Twitter? He was referring to the Beast article or training that Justin did. And he was wondering about that. And so, we just had a frank discussion about who Twitter's for, why, should you be doing it? We also talked about Instagram. And Justin said something real quick, real thoughtful, which is not rare for him. He thinks things through brilliantly. One of the things that he said, and Brandon, I think, can attest to this, that if you're Instagram's everywhere. I mean, a lot of people are using Instagram. Younger people, millennials, all that sort of stuff are using Instagram. However, it's kind of, to be effective as a ministry tool, an outreach tool, and an in-reach tool, there's also a little bit of regionalness to it, right? So Tommy lives in a rural part of Alabama. So he said, you need to find out if people in your area are using Instagram. I mean, are they like Instagram crazy? You know, are other churches in your area in Instagram? And to do some searching for some certain hashtags and stuff to see if that is being used in your area. This is using Instagram locally, you know, for the people that are in your area, the people that are in your church, the people that are outside your church that that may be following certain hashtags and things like that you would obviously be using in an Instagram post. So that's something that I hadn't really thought about, you know, and that's the kind of stuff that we talk about in there is you know, hey, maybe Instagram is not what you need to be doing if it's not big in your local area. If no one's using it, then you're just kind of, you know, yelling down an empty hallway, right? When you really need to be focusing on Facebook because everybody in your area is on Facebook. So anyway, great stuff. All right. Let me check the chat here. I would love to do a CTA meetup, and I've actually been thinking about that. We're seeing people showing up in the Hacks group. More and more they're in the DFW area. And I know Seth Muse is about 45 minutes away from me and stuff, and I'm sure he would come because Seth is cool and he's my buddy. But I'm thinking about doing one. Part of we used to do meetups all the time with Geek Beat. And if you guys don't know me from the tech and entertainment world, that's what I was doing before I did all this, was worked for a company that we started called Livid Lobster here in Dallas, and we did a show called Geek Beat TV. The earlier iteration of that show was called Geek Brief TV with Callie Lewis, and it was a tech news and gadget show, you know, kind of cutting edge, what's new. It was a daily show that we did. Did Geek Brief with her, did a few hundred episodes of that, and then our contract was running out with our host, and so we closed down that show, signed on with Revision 3 at the time, which is now Discovery Network, you know, like Discovery Channel. This is their digital platform. They bought Revision 3, and you know, we're licensing our show. Excuse me, we're licensing our show for their digital network. Anyway, so did about 1,000 episodes of that, and we had we had like well over like 1 billion views, and we had millions of followers on social media, which was really cool. So we would do meetups, like we went to Las Vegas to CES or to NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters. We were their live streaming partner for a few years, and CES, we were one of the official streams of CES as well. Kind of like Leo Laporte and not Tech TV was the Twit Network was doing for 5 or 6 years prior to us doing it. Anyway. So we would do meetups, and the meetups were great. We would go to in Vegas. We would go to the mall just off the strip and go to Earl of Sandwich, and the place would get packed, which was really cool. Plus, I like Earl of Sandwich. Anyway, but it was always great to hang out with folks, and we met folks that, I mean, there were folks that would come every year. There were folks that would come from out of state that were going to be there and all that, and that was really cool. And I never really thought about doing it with Church Training Academy. But now that we're kind of growing and people are following us and all this kind of stuff, I think it would be cool. The problem is that Justin is in the Rio Grande Valley, and I'm in the DFW area. The solution, though, is that Justin can do a meetup down there, and I can do a meetup up here, which is really cool. And then when we get together, because eventually, Inside Baseball, eventually, in a few years, hopefully, Justin and his wife will be at a point, and the company will be at a point where they can move up here, and I can get the people across the street that are renting from our friend who owns the house across the street. I can get them kicked out, and then they can buy that house. So that's what we're really working on. I'm sure Justin's watching this right now and going, no, we're not doing that. But I would like nothing better than for him to be across the street or down the street or across town or somewhere up here. He could be between me and Seth. I don't care. He could live in Irving or Grapevine. That's fine, whatever. But that we could do stuff like that. So anyway, yes, I do want to do meetups, and we will be looking at that. I'm curious. I want to know who's around here, who's in the DFW area, or who, is within an hour drive of, the Dallas area at most. I wouldn't expect anybody to drive from anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't expect somebody to drive across the Metroplex to come hang out with me, but, if you're like in Denton, would you come down, for a meetup? Let me know. We can hang out. We can do stuff. I've been thinking about doing a workshop too, like a physical workshop, not like just a digital workshop, but like a real workshop, and actually like do some, live streaming training or something like that. So I'm just going to throw that out there, and if anybody's interested and would want to do it, then leave a comment. Let me know. Email me, dave@churchtrainingacademy.com. I'm curious. All right. Let's see. I hope I can get a better job soon. This is Christopher. I hope I can get a better job soon and more income so that I can join, because I do believe in what you guys do. Christopher, thank you. And I am praying for you. You and I have talked offline, and I'm praying for you, and I hope that things are opening up. Last I talked, you had a few irons in the fire that you were stoking. So I hope one of those pans out for you. And by the way, anybody out there, reach out to Christopher and let him tell you what he's doing and where his skill set is and stuff. As I remember, some of that stuff may be able to be done remotely. So there may be some consulting or something that you can do, Christopher. I don't know, but praying for you, brother. Chris said that she would come, which would be awesome. I would probably have Chris help me co-host it. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I've got some stuff to do. I did about 150 videos or something over the last 10 days, and I've got like another half dozen to go. Let me think. I've got like 7 videos. I think 8 maybe. If I can get those done this afternoon, a gigantic weight will come off my shoulder. A gigantic check will go into my account, which is really nice. And then I can breathe, sleep, and get some courses and crap done and up and published. I got a lot of stuff I just got to publish up on the site for the insiders. Anyway, love you guys. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all take care. Thanks for sitting through my stream of consciousness here. Anyway, you guys have a fantastic weekend. I'm going to be on and offline, so reach out to me on Facebook and on social, and we'll see you guys in the Hacks group and see you insiders in the insiders group, where we talk about the other people. Bye, guys.